Hello, good morning guys. I'm Kevin. Today we have the Karsten over here, one of the head coach for Kuala Lumpur Central Marathon Clinics.
Yes, I have the honor to do that.
So would you like to introduce yourself to us?
Gladly, yeah. So, my name is Karsten. Okay, I'm the current KLSCM coach together with Coach YK. Okay, so we are a team that leads you guys from the beginning of your training until event day. So I've been, for my background itself, I've been around in Malaysia since 2011. Okay, did my first running event as well as in 2011, my first running event ever. I did run in Germany, but that was more casual, and I never thought I was good enough to participate in an event until 2011, when a friend encouraged me to sign up, and the KL marathon came around. So I did the half marathon there.
What's the time around that? What's the finishing time?
Oh, that was just sub 2 hours.
Sub 2 hours?
Yeah.
Your first event already sub 2 hours?
Suffered a lot, but I managed somehow.
You managed somehow?
Yeah, some very funny photos from there where I look like that, yeah.
You look like that. Do you suffer any like cramps, hit the wall, the running beginner stuff?
Yeah, no, I just suffered. I started too fast, I believe, and the last few kilometers were pretty tough. I remember the route, the last few kilometers, they actually went from KLCC down Chalampang, then right turn into Chalantun's Ismail, and then back to Dadame Deka. It was quite a nice route. Couldn't appreciate it at the time. I think there was a lack of water and 100 plus at the time, and that was 2011. And that's just one learnings for me, and what I noticed or what I observed, how much the KL marathon improved since then. There were significant changes, and they all led to an improvement.
Yeah, there's a lot. Because my first KL Central Marathon is 2012. My first running event.
Full marathon?
No. My first one is half marathon, and I finished around 2 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, it's quite good.
I think
that's my first event also.
Because we ran together that time.
We ran together, right? Yes. I'm trying to chase you. So that time the route is pretty nice. Are we going back to the old route, or are we still going for the new route? Because I prefer the old route more than the new route.
Yeah. I don't remember much. I just remember the last few kilometers when I suffered, so I still have that usually in my mind. I'm not sure when I did my last half marathon at KL Marathon. I just heard it's quite nice and flat. I mean, the KL runner talk flat, which is okay to be very much with care.
It's pretty flat unless you go to the Bukit Tungku side. The Mayer Hill, everything, that side is different story, but the remaining is pretty flat in KL city because of the route.
I mean, there are some routes which are very flat. I mean, some other events found very nice 10K routes there. Half marathon certainly a bit harder to find while keeping it scenic. And full marathon, I think, the recent routes have been pretty good. I mean, I made peace with the highways. Okay, that's always a point for discussion.
Okay, one question. Because I'm running full marathon this year, is it possible? Are we going back the same route as last year, or is there any new route?
I think this year is pretty much the same route. We as coaches, we are not that much involved. Of course, we ask once in a while, but I think it's also like a process taking place. It's tricky, and there I always must say and point out the struggle of the organizers. It's not easy to organize an event. Even KL Marathon, when KL as a town, as a city, benefits so much, the struggle is real, even for those guys, where you would expect that the town hall would just open the doors for them and allow everything, but it's not always the case. They're very supportive. I mean, all the authorities are very supportive, but they have a lot of stakeholders. There are a lot of people parties to involved. I mean, traffic is one area to take care of for them as well. So it's not defined yet, 100%, I believe, but it will be very similar.
Very similar. So whoever who ran this year and last year, be prepared for the last year route. So try to gather some of the information, especially the end parts, the hilly parts, up and down, the Duke Highway, everything. Okay, come back to here, because now to Central Marathon is around less than 3 months.
Yes.
2.5 months. Should be 2.5 months.
Less than 3 months.
By the time this video out, should be 2.5 months. Are we should we training up to the pace, or we still flatten, or should we ramp up our trainings?
Yes, I mean, ideally, and that's what we highlighted in the first clinic, that was like 4 months before the event, that it's important that you create a plan, or you make a plan.
If let's say someone there's no plan, then right now they should they go start training, or they should sit back? Okay, if they should.
Please don't sit back, or if you do that and wait until 1 week before the event, don't tell me. Okay, at the last clinic, like some guys did, and I said, well, yes, I want to be encouraging, supportive. But I also need to highlight, the less you're prepared, the higher the risk of injury is. Okay, that's always the big talk that you hear from us coaches, injury. The last thing you want as a runner is to be injured, because then you can't do what you love, run. And you also don't want to suffer too much, okay, during a run. Well, pain is temporary, glory is forever, yes, but those minutes when you run are not sure.
Because now to stand chart is 2.5 months. So what kind of advice for the people that haven't started training yet?
Start training.
What type of training they should go? Like long run, speed work, or what kind of trainings? What type of trainings they should go?
I would say depends where you start off. I always say start easy, start your run. Once you are able to run consistently and continuously for half an hour, you can look at introducing speed work, tempo runs, and those quality works. But I suggest have the stamina and endurance to at least run half an hour easy. Okay, easy pace is conversational pace. You should be able to enjoy, should not get you out of breath. Once you achieve that, yes, look at those quality sessions, like we call them. But even more important is that you continue your easy runs. Increase them week over week. Okay, if you look at the mileage, let's say you start to run now, you actually have a good aerobic base, you have a good fitness, you actually can finish your half an hour run now. You do like 3 runs this week still after this encouragement or from both of us. Then next week increase by 10%. Okay, so let's say half an hour this month, this week, sorry. Then next week roughly run 100 minutes. Or you can also look at mileage. If you manage to run let's say 15k with those 3 half an hour runs this week, next week run 16 to 17 kilometers. So increase carefully.
So don't just simply follow anyone who running. If you are, let's say, someone that really slack off for a few months back, now they start, they should not follow someone that already trained up for the par everything.
I mean, you should not. Again, the same risks apply.
Risk of injury.
Maybe you can't follow them, you get discouraged, you get demotivated. Running is always a battle, struggle, fight with ourselves. So we only run against ourselves. Okay, that should be something very important to remember. You're not running for or against anyone else. You just run for and against yourself.
So besides running alone, can they join any like stand chart clinics or this kind? Because there's a list of stand chart clinics. What I see, you have specialized and normal type of clinic. What's the difference between these two?
So we are this year we have 2 clinics, the general running clinics, which take place on Sundays. Okay, these are the clinics that you have known from the previous years as well. And this year again we introduced the specialized clinics, which are for smaller crowds. So coming back to the general running clinics, these are the larger ones on Sundays, taking place at normally Bukit Jalil Park, okay, where we meet at 6:30 for registration. At 7 a.m. we start. One of the coaches shares some information, running info about your training, about preparation, about nutrition, about injury prevention. Then you go for an easy run of 1 hour 20 minutes. Okay, and then after that we have challenges where you can win prizes. Cool down, the Q&A sessions with the coaches, Coach YK and myself. So that's clinics where we cover general topics.
So it's open to everyone?
Yes.
Even though there's someone who didn't sign up for stand chart, can they attend?
But right, no. So the prerequisite is that you actually sign up for KL Marathon. I mean, that will be checked, verified once you register for the clinic itself. Okay, so you need to have an account, and I believe they verify during that registration process for the clinic that you are So that's the basic idea.
The basic
But
ideas.
on the day itself, I mean, if you hear about it or if you're just at the Bukit Jalil Park by accident, just drop by and follow. I mean, runners are always a friendly bunch, and we're happy to share with you as well. So there's no harm listening to us, because it can only benefit you.
Yeah. So let's say I'm at the Sunday. There's a clinic at the Bukit Jalil Park. If I'm around, so I can just join in to listen, everything.
Just join us. Come for a run with us. Ask questions, because end of the day, biggest interest of KL Marathon and Coach YK and myself are that we spread the word of running, that as many people as possible enjoy running, because it's such a great gift to those that are able to do that.
Yep. So you wouldn't just chase us away everything.
Well, sometimes. Especially Coach YK brings a rotan, but don't worry, it's not meant for that case. Okay, it's just to encourage people.
You bring a rotan and encourage. So how about the specialized clinics?
Yeah, specialized clinics take place on Saturdays. On selected Saturdays, same process. You have to register, but the crowd is much smaller. We aim at around 30 people for the specialized clinics. There we cover very specific topics out of the running training area.
Right.
So we started, for example, with the tempo runs, which took place at the TPM, Technology Park Malaysia. Great session, great people there. So we basically introduced or explained and made people feel what's a tempo run, what are the benefits. The warm-up procedure is a bit more extensive, as it's a quality session. It's more a high risk of injury, so the warm-up is different. Also introduces that kind of part of running, the warm-up to people, Q&A sessions, stretching, and so like that we have in total 6 specialized running clinics. So the first one was tempo run with myself and TPM. The last one was VO2 max and agility with Coach YK. In the Arena Sukan, Malaysia, or KL, so the running track. Next one will be the strength training session with myself, Bukit Jalil Park.
Bukit Jalil Park strength training.
As we talk now, tomorrow.
But by the time this video finishes, it should be over already.
If you were lucky, you were there. If not, you come next year.
Okay, next year.
Then the next clinic then will be the speed session, again conducted by Coach YK. The one after is hill reps, one of my favorites.
That's the thing that I hate the most. I hate hill reps the most.
Yeah, I always say talking to myself, hills are our friend, but it's sometimes hard to believe that.
Yes, why?
It's just a very tough workout. It really pushes us out of our comfort zone. And as it's a hill, we have to run hard against gravity, whereas maybe speed and tempo are also quite hard. But hills are just something
different,
which we do not need for running. They are just in our way, so we just have to prepare for it. If you would live in a flat country like many places where I come from in Germany, there are a lot of flat areas, so hills are less relevant. People have to drive quite far for hills. Here it's just like you step out the door and you hit the hill. So it goes up and down here. Even
for me myself, I hate hills. Even I live in a hilly place. I live in Bukit Jalil. I try to avoid hills.
If you move a place that has a bukit inside already, then you're to blame.
That's why I always try to avoid hills during my training. I hate hills a lot. Even that's why for KLSCM charts, I always struggle on the back of the race, especially the hill parts. I always struggle on that. Any tips how to improve on that?
Exactly. That's actually the reason as well. If you know the route, that's one of the things also we talk about in the clinics. One of the preparations you have to make or should make is to familiarize yourself with the route before you actually run it as early as possible, as early as made available by the organizer. So for KL, as mentioned earlier, we most likely will have the nice route as the last 2 years, which I find one of the better ones and relatively flat compared to other ones. You don't run into Bukit Tungku, and it has the shape of a T-Rex, which is very exciting, I find.
Yes, the shape of the T-Rex, without the tail.
So we know that the second half of the full marathon, for example, we enter the highways.
The Duke Highway.
That's
the rolling.
The Ackley and the
Duke Highway.
Duke Highway,
The rolling highway.
So it's mental because it's like always up and down. It's the flyovers. It's not the hills, but the flyovers are quite long sometimes, and it's a bit monotonous from the surrounding. So it's important to set your mind to it, and to prepare for the hills, like with those hill reps that we are going to do in one of the specialized clinics. That kind of training will basically condition your body, your mind, and will also empower you and strengthen you, prepare you for those hills at the end.
Yeah. Besides clinics, can I put it like this? Should I include hill trainings weekly into my weekly training?
Yeah. I mean, different ideas about running training. The running training background where I come from is to introduce hills very early in your training.
Very early in the training.
Hills are for once called speed work in disguise or strength training in disguise. It's simply harder because you run up the hill. Yes, gravity is pulling you down. It tries to slow you down. It tries to pull downhill. So it's a very intense workout that you still, in my opinion, I always benefited from it. Do very early in your trainings plan, once a week, and increase the numbers of repetitions when you do hill repetitions. Because it builds your strength. Okay, it builds your mental strength, but more importantly, your physical strength.
Your physical strength, yeah.
And I always benefited from that when I was training really hard for events. That really made a big difference.
Makes a big difference, yeah. Because I always try to option out hill trainings and interval. I always go more to the interval rather than hill trainings. Even though I live in the hilly place, I always option to the. It's much more easy.
Yes.
Compared to the hill.
Yeah, you choose a flat route, and it's also mental. Also, your kind of
it's mental,
personal preference as well.
That's right.
What is good here is we have a lot of hills in our area, like here where we are here now in Suhatama, Smonkara, Bukit Tunku area. There are hills non-stop. Bukit Jalil, when you run there, I remember the Bukit Jalil half marathon, Brooks half marathon many years ago. Up and down. So we have hills anyway to manage during our easy runs. So that's another workout, easy over hills, where you. Maybe it's just an option if you do not like to plan a specific hill reps session. If you go on your easy run and you meet a hill, once in a while, just go it a bit harder.
Go a bit harder on the hill.
Don't sprint it up, but push a bit more.
Push a bit more so that
the effort feels a bit harder.
So you have some effort all the way up the hill.
Yes, and then you go up and down. Then you have some easy stretches. Then maybe one hill you take a bit easier, but the next hill, push a bit more again. Like that, you can kind of
ideally strengths.
Work around the hill reps if you really don't like it, but you still should do it.
I will take this as advice because I always try to option out the hills rather than going for hill repeats over that.
Easy run is called run, or that workout is called easy over hills. It's a nice thing to do once in a while. Like also, typically once a week you have that. And
even like the KLSCM clinic, the general clinic, is done at the Bukit Jalil Park. Basically, it's like you need to run over up the hill, come down, up the hill again.
I always found that route hell. Okay, I mean, in the early years, 2012, I mean, I joined the KLSCM Standard Charter Marathon clinics. I was there most Sundays, and in the early years, also there were specialized clinics. I also joined most of them. I learned a lot from those, and. The general clinics in Bukit Jalil, the route there, it's a 2.6 kilometer route, but the slope, and you go with like, depending how long you run, again, they also encourage you just take the whole time, okay, the whole 1 hour, 20 minutes, 1.5 hours that you can run in our clinics, just go for it, and it's tough, it's nothing to enjoy, but the training's effect is massive. Yes. Even nowadays, I like to run counter against the running route of the participants, to meet them more, to encourage them, to give some advice along the route, and it's really great how hard our participants work as well. And I feel it's inspiring, it's motivating for me as well, how people come to these clinics and work their ass off to become better runners and to benefit also from our advice.
Okay, if let's say someone that doesn't have much time to train or go to clinics, what's the option that they can do?
I mean, there's actually no real shortcut for training. If you run a full marathon, you have to train for full marathon. If you really are short of time, and that's a consideration you have to actually do at the very beginning. Actually, you should start with the days you have time for training. Let's say, depending also on your background and how far progressed you are as a runner. There's your life to live, your family to take care of. Some have to work, okay, like sarcastic comment. But most of us have to work, so that has to be considered. How often can you actually make time to train? So if it's like 2 or 3 times a week, if you don't really have time Sunday mornings because it's family time, you don't have time for a long run, then I advise not to go for a half marathon or full marathon. Okay, go for shorter runs, go for a 5K, which can be very rewarding. For 5Ks, yes, you don't ideally also invest considerable time, but you can get away with less time, or 10K. Depends also what's your ambition. If you want to raise it, if you want to look at improving your personal best, you have to invest more time. If you want to just stay decently fit, run it at a respectable time, you have to invest less training. And if you just go there for the atmosphere, being part of a great event like KL Marathon, then your training can be just very moderate, fun, easy runs mostly. You join the clinics, meet some people of the same interest.
Yeah, one thing that I want to touch back to the things that one of your clinics is about strength, because most of the runner, they will option out strength training. Even myself, I only start to introduce strength training to myself like a year ago. I always option out strength training. What's the benefit that they can get from strength training? Because for runners, we're scared to get bulk up. Like you can see you are a bit jacked up already compared to the last time I know you. What's the benefit when they go for strength training?
I mean, strength training is something I can't really emphasize enough. A must for runners. Okay, benefits are most importantly the injury prevention. Okay, you reduce the risk of injury so much. Like to go work backwards. If you look at all those running injuries that there are, okay, the major ones we covered it last time. ITP band syndrome, okay, shin splints, runner's knee, Achilles tendonitis, plantar fasciitis. When you look at those injuries, even cramps, okay, and what can be done, what can prevent it? It's always strength training, okay, with a whole list of other points, but strength training is the most important injury prevention that you can do.
It's not about the food, what kind of runs, what kind of rest. Strength is one part of playing a big major part of it.
Yeah, it has to be a part of we're not stopping emphasizing that whenever we talk to runners. That's really crucial. But apart from injury prevention, it also helps you to become a better runner. Simply because with strength training you can address weaknesses that develop. You know, we are all creatures of our lives. I mean, you've been around for 30 years. I've been around for a bit longer. So we are all basically results of our lifestyle, of our bad habits, of our injuries, the compensation movements that the body applies to you to always make you feel comfortable. So we are pretty much different and sometimes very far away from how our body was built. So as the body is, our human body especially is a perfect running machine. Okay, we can run down any animal in this world. Okay, not in terms of speed, but in terms of endurance. We can beat any animal or any other creature. We are also animals, but we are any other creature in this world. So we are the perfect runners. Built by evolution or by God.
So that's why strength training is...
So there are some shortcomings that we developed, and with strength training you address those. Because when you run with weaknesses in your body that are important for your running, you will still be able to run for a long time maybe. But if muscles are being used consistently and continuously that are not meant to be used throughout the marathon or throughout the long run or run, then you run into the risk again of injury, and it also makes you less performant. Your running less efficient. So you're wasting a lot of energy which you could otherwise benefit from by running better results.
I see. How many times that strength training that you recommend for a person per week? Once or twice?
Ideally you do it twice. But again, I'm happy already if you do it once. But it's always like, he said once is enough, but you should do it twice a week. And what's very relevant is it has to be specific. Okay, as a runner, you do not want to go like just build your biceps, do your triceps, build your chest, abs. Okay, part of the core. That's all right. But you don't want to train those upper muscles body to look good for the lady runners or for the male runners, either way. So it's about being specific. The principle of specificity is very, very important here. So you want to train muscles and areas which are involved in running, and that's actually really the whole body. End of the day, it's the legs. When you talk about injury prevention, it's strong quads, proper hamstrings, good glutes, the hips, which are actually the main issue for running inefficient, that the hips are not strong, because when we spend most of our life doing this, right, sitting, and not doing any physical work, and we live in a place where everything is nicely paved, there's hardly any uneven space, we are not really physically challenged in our normal days, like I think beyond sleeping, I think we're not really, when we move around, we're not really challenged. So our hips are one of those big areas which are neglected, and many of us have weak hips. And so you, during the running, you are dropping a hip, you're using your back more. The back is not designed for that. You develop back pain there potentially. So hips, then the core. I mean, I just recently saw the video with Usain Bolt. I mean, there are different ideas as well, but Usain Bolt said core. For a runner, the most important part of your body is the core. Well, there's some truth to it. Again, you can't really, there's nothing you can look at isolated. Running is a whole body workout. You burn the most calories of all sports with running. The core is very important, so core is also involved. The arms as well. When you talked just now about the hills, the arms can help you a lot when you run up the hills by the arm swing. Then a strong core will basically transfer the energy that you have into your lower body. There's always a transfer happening between upper and lower body, so they support each other. So with the right arm swing forward, look at the goal, look at the tip or peak of the hill, you run properly, your strong core then will first of all protect your spine, your hips, and you will transfer the energy where you want it to be. So you benefit from it, but you need to train for it. So it has to be specific, doesn't have to be that much. I mean, as a runner, same struggle myself. I want to be on the road. I don't want to
spend your time in the gyms.
Good strength training, training that is also necessary for our health beyond running. You know, they have this age-related muscle loss, all those lifestyle ailments like back pain, shoulder pain, posture. You have to go like 2 to 3 times to the gym. To get really results. So doing it 20 minutes is really the absolute minimum, but there are, of course, I mean, that was my struggle. You know, when many years back, 10 years ago, I started to run. I did my first half marathon run. Strength training was not really on my agenda. As I progressed, at that time I happened to change into veterans without knowing that something like that exists. Then I ended up in better positions, and then I became more competitive, more ambitious. So I wondered, how can I improve my running? So I was looking for continuous improvement. So then strength training was an area which I neglected at the time. So I was looking, but I didn't want to spend now 4 or 6 hours in the gym, because it's like, I'm a runner, okay? I'm not a gym guy, or like, I don't want to, if I have to do it, maybe, but I also don't have the time. So I was looking for options, and a long story short, then I came about EMS. I tried EMS, electromuscular stimulation. With that solution, you actually, within 20 minutes, with the help of electromuscular stimulation, EMS, where we are here, you can basically cover 2 to 3 conventional strength training sessions in 20 minutes. Whole body workout, you cover a lot of other areas beyond running. So as an ambitious runner, like I am still, 20 minutes once a week are enough. But if you don't have access to EMS, like here, maybe that's topic for another discussion, or we can cover it later. So do at least 20 minutes. Come to running clinics, talk to us. Even if you missed the strength training session at KLSCM 2024 running clinics, still come to us and we give you a short brief of what to do. Is basically strengthen your legs. Squats are the king of exercise. You train really the whole body. Body weight already enough. Do it at home. You don't need weights. Personally, I always see a bit of with some reservation. It's a great thing to do. It's very rewarding. I've been recently experiencing it more, but it bears a lot of risk of injury. Okay, again, when you put external loads on your body, then your posture becomes very important. Then you have to really to know what you're doing, what is the right movement. So body weight, squats, lunges, the typical plank that you do, forearm plank for core workout. There I would say if you can last 1 minute 30 seconds, stop doing the plank alone, then make it harder. Lift one arm, lift one leg off. Just do some variations, progressions that make it harder to challenge and to train your core more. Some back exercises on your back. Some plyometric exercises before the run. Occasionally do some plyometric exercises.
What is EMS? I think general knowledge, most of the runners or most of people out there, they have no idea what is EMS.
So first step is to know you have to do strength training. One of the next thing is what are the options. Typically people think going to the gym, go to the weight sections, move around, do some exercises. If you try it costs a lot of time. Many people go to the gym for years and you wonder what they did there because you can't really see anything, right? I mean, it's not easy. It's good that they do it. I've always encouraged people to do it no matter what kind of method you do. The new body weight is very effective as well for some time. But as you become stronger and stronger, body weight exercises become a bit hard for you to progress. It's good and good for maintenance, but strength training is typically an area which is a bit misunderstood. Strength training is part of resistance training, and resistance training consists of strength, hypertrophy, and muscular endurance. So strength means you actually, if you go conventionally, you go to a weight section and pick up a weight that you can only move 1 to 6 times. So it's pretty heavy, okay? And that, again, heavy weights, you have to be very cautious not to hurt any other part of your body, like the joints. And that kind of workout will not bulk you up, okay? That's also important for runners. Strength training, as you do it by definition, very heavy weights, low repetitions, will not bulk you up. So you're not becoming like a hog. But what happens is you become stronger. So your maximum strength increases, so you can lift heavier, you can squat easier. When you get out of bed, the back doesn't feel so sore anymore. You just feel more energetic and simply stronger. And side effect of strength training is you become more firm. It's the performance part improves as well as your aesthetic part. And the health part. A strong body has normally strong joints as well. And looking at that, strength training, again, weights are one option, but it takes a lot of time. So EMS is a relatively new innovation in the fitness area that is here to stay and is really the future because it's by far not appreciated and understood enough. EMS stands for electromuscle stimulation. So we basically, when you come to Fit Orange, which happened to be a EMS studio, we suit you up in a suit, covering you with electrodes near the entire body, and then these electrodes will bring electric current to your body, send it into your body, and then the current just looks for those nerves that contract muscles. Once it finds a nerve that contracts muscles, it will tell him to switch on, nearly 100%. So by doing that, first of all, you improve the muscle fiber recruitment, because typically when you go to the gym and you take a very heavy weight, even if you go to a gym and you have this barbell that is like 40 kilos and you try to pick it up and it doesn't even move, and you contract really hard and you try to move it, your body will only engage roughly 50% of your muscle fibers. So no matter what you do, the body will not give you your whole capacity. So you only work suboptimal. You work at 50%, maybe a bit more of what you could work out. So, sorry to say, everybody who goes to the gym and does weights works very inefficient because you only train 50% of your muscle fibers at a time. That's something you cannot change because it's a hardwired reflex by our body from the times when we evolved, when we still had a bit rougher times, when there were saber-toothed tigers around, when we had to run away from saber-toothed tigers, or when we had to fight or defend our food from the neighbor tribe. Then, for those fight or flight situations, you heard about that, the fight and flight situations, then the body will giving you the full capacity. So the body will never allow you in a normal situation to exert your whole body capacity. May it be muscle fibers, may it be your endurance. That's why the same thing when you run a full marathon, when you feel tired, when you bonk, you're by far not dead. Okay, you're far from being dead. The dead protects you and will not allow you to go further. You could actually push much harder, but the body will not allow that.
Yeah, it's more like your brain cut off. Yes. Your brain actually is a safe spot. They will cut you off, protect your life. They will cut it off. This is the limit.
Yeah.
But actually, it's your limit is.
You actually could do much more. If it's a really stressful situation and the body recognizes a stress situation, you will actually be able to run much faster and much longer. So having said that, this kind of habit of the body to restrict your muscle fiber recruitment is basically ignored by EMS because we do not ask the brain to contract the muscle, we go directly to the muscle. So we hit more than 90% of your muscle fibers. So muscle fiber recruitment efficiency improves by around 80%. Then we hit your entire body with the same time. Strength training, conventional setup is very isolated. So you take because it's very heavy weight, so you work your biceps. So you sit there on a bench or you just focus on your bicep curl. So for 3 sets of maybe 5 reps with very heavy weight, you just train one muscle. Okay, and then you train the rest of your body the same way. Very isolated, very time consuming. So EMS, we train the muscle just as hard, first of all, but just without the weights, because the electrical current is doing the muscle contraction. So while training your muscle as hard as you do when you move a very heavy weight, we don't need the weight. The muscle gets trained just as good without the risk of injury of your joints and without being limited to making isolated movements. So we train your whole body at the same time with EMS at the level of strength training, and we strength train muscles that you in a conventional setup cannot train strength, because you can't put weights on your abs, or you can't put weights around the muscles protecting your spine or bending your spine. EMS literally
because
does that.
You're wearing the suits, everything.
And the current is basically telling the muscle to work as hard as moving very heavy weights. So by doing the strength training as a whole body workout, not isolated, but as a whole body workout, we have many other benefits like intramuscular and intermuscular synchronization. Maybe just one more time, one more point there, because I like that. I find it quite cool, that comparison. But when you talk about intermuscular synchronization that you do with EMS more than with any other strength workout, is like a band, okay, like an orchestra, like the Malaysian Philharmonic, or for me Metallica. If every musician plays individually, it may sound quite decent already. So now every musician is like one muscle. So yeah, you have a strong biceps. Looks good. Okay, you can show off at the nightclub or at the Mamak store. But how does it benefit your body? So then the musicians come together, and then maybe you train every muscle individually. So when the musicians practice individually, and then you just put them together, they may not really play in sync. So okay, they have to practice a lot together. So EMS basically makes them play together in a very harmonic and synchronous way. So the Metallica sounds as badass as they do.
So they can all join together.
Philharmonic Orchestra sounds as awesome as they do by being synchronized. And that's what EMS does as well. So your body is conditioned as a whole, not just isolated.
Not just isolated. Yeah, that's a good point. Because I guess a lot of people don't know about EMS for all this while, until even myself, I just know a bit of it now, but now I'm sitting with you, I know much more about the EMS also.
Yeah, we should try soon. Yeah, so
soon, but not today.
Okay.
Because today I feel a bit tired, and
you
by
have
this
big weekend ahead of you.
I have a race, So I'm not going to try today.
Yeah, so
Maybe
we
next time.
spoil our audience already a lot with our presence today, but next time we spoil them by making you suffer or looking at you suffer.
Next that one will be the next round, next video. So more or less should be like that. I think. Thanks, Karsten. Thanks for a lot of suggestions and a lot of ideas.
Thanks for having me. There's much more to talk about, but we'll leave that for another time.
Yeah, we'll leave it for another time. We'll talk
Certainly
about.
Great to be on your show. Been like watching, looking, supporting you for since the very beginnings. And we have a long history together.
Yeah, we have long history. We are knowing each other like 12 years.
Yeah, at least I must say. And at the beginning I never understood why you're K1, because I'm also K. So I said, doesn't mean I'm K2. So kept me busy for a while, I guess. But luckily we don't have to number the Ks, but you're K1 and I'm just Karsten. And I have a lot of memories when we ran together here in Srihatama, up the hill. I don't know why I still have this picture in my head when we ran up those hills, and many other
times,
like
I'm trying to catch you up to everything.
The Newton Challenge and Bukit Jalil, many runs in Bukit Jalil. Many runs at those former running events, running clinics.
Yeah. Okay. Good to see you, and see you soon.
Thank you.
Okay,
see you soon.
See you soon, and remember, find Fit Orange for the EMS session.
Come Fit Orange, but also join us at the KLSCM 2024 running clinics.
Okay. See you guys. Thank you. Bye.